Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Sunday, the 28th of September, 2025. Starting, as always, with the synoptic picture. And midday yesterday, you can see the low pressure to the north of the UK, as well as down to the south there as well, just approaching the Bay of Biscay. And this cold front that was approaching us from the west. Overnight, that was more or less parked over where we are here at the moment. And by midday today, that has passed and left behind it a little bit more unstable of an air mass, which has brought the more unsettled conditions that we're going to see today and in the next couple. Outlook, though, high pressure appearing to return and some clear air for the next 2 or 3 days, with the high pressure being dominant in the channel by midday on Tuesday. And quite a deep low up over Iceland around Wednesday, bringing some poorer weather potentially into the latter part of next week. Sat pic today, you can see a little bit of evidence of that front having passed with some clearance behind, but still a reasonable amount of cloud around the area, both mid-level and top cover. And with that, instability, a little bit of showery activity, as we can see here. That front possibly slightly slower moving than was previously expected, looking at the synoptic and the trailing edge, bringing this thin band of showers that are approaching us at the moment. So we can probably expect to see a little bit of rain for the first sort of hour or so this morning. Looking at the Met Office prediction, we run that through. See, it's a relatively thin light band of rain, and this would suggest that it's moving a bit more slowly than it appeared to on the radar, but I don't think it would cause as much issue after maybe, say, 9:30, 10 o'clock, if even that, and clear into the rest of the afternoon and early evening. Odium, their observation this morning of 160-degree winds, 6 knots, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, and cloud broken at 4,800, scattered at 7,100. With pressure reasonably high despite the lows in the area of 1019. Farnborough Taff for today, 120 degrees, 4 knots for wind, visibility greater than 10 kilometers, scattered at 4,000 feet. And they're recognizing that little sort of band of rain there. The Prop 30 between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning of 7,000 meter visibility, and between the hours of 10 and 4 local, 8,000 meter vis light rain and broken at 1,200. Later into the afternoon, possibility of 3,000 meter vis with drizzle and even a little bit of mist and broken at 600 feet. I think that's a little bit pessimistic. I don't think we'll see quite that extent of poor weather, but there will be a little bit going through this morning. Spot winds to the south of us, southwesterly, at 10 or 15 knots, 330 and 340 degrees, and to the north, it's northwesterly, about 320 degrees at 5 knots. So we can expect more or less a westerly flow today, southwesterly probably to begin. And looking at windy here, that's re-emphasizing that southwesterly to begin with. We're expecting that to come in a bit more westerly today, quite light flow across the airfield there. Looking at the local Met Office forecast, you can see it doesn't really agree with that prognosis, expecting it to be much more westerly by late morning, early afternoon, and actually to come around northerly and northwesterly into sort of late afternoon and towards close of play. GFS giving us a temperature in our area of around 14 degrees in the warmest part of the day, and a dew point of 11. So that's the current picture on the webcam on the south side. Looking to the west, quite established mid and top cover. You can see a little bit of haziness on the horizon there, which is likely that little band of rain. Temperature now we're up to 12.4 degrees with a dew point of 10, so quite pleasant, pleasantly warm overnight with all this cloud that stayed in. Helped keep the heat in. And now moving on to SkySight. On the left-hand side of the screen here is an excerpt from the potential flight distance. And you can see there's actually something to be said to the west and north of us, but really quite markedly cuts off around Popham area and is very poor locally to Lasham. So it should be soarable locally today at times, depending on if this mid-layer cloud stays quite so thick. And the point forecast on the right-hand side here, quite a pessimistic outlook, showing a brief period of soarable air up to maybe 2,500 feet around lunchtime and then poorer afterwards. But they seem to be forecasting more showers than the Met Office were expecting. So we'll see. I think there is an element of soaring today, but it just does depend on how thick this top cover remains. On that topic, looking at cloud distribution here on top net here. Starting at 9 o'clock local, you can see the front there with thick auto queue and some lower level cloud and fog behind. We run that through hour by hour. It does start to break up initially to the west, but it should reach our area, clearing around about 1 or 2 o'clock. This is to be believed, and leaving some cumulus behind, expecting that to be soarable in that part of the afternoon. So probably not to begin with today, but maybe from lunchtime onwards it should be at least locally soarable. Right, and then beginning to blue out into the early evening. Now, the NOTAM service we use is not working for us today. What we can say is similar to yesterday, the temporary CTA in the Cotswold area, the Class D airspace, that is in force as well. But we also have a drone NOTAM just to the north of us at the moment. And we can see here with Basingstoke being the main part there, it's just to the sort of northwest or west-northwest of Basingstoke there, and that's from surface to 1,500 feet. And they'll be operating up to 1,000 feet above ground level. So if we are up there, even local flying or truck pilots, just do be aware and there is some drone activity locally to us today. Got the bookings now. We've got two K21s on booked instructional flying, one K21 on the casual list, and a K34 trial lessons. There is some single seat availability today. And last point, checking there were 5 on the casual list with one instructor. So if there are any other instructors around and we have any spare gliders, you'd be more than welcome to help out. Simulator is available as normal, and we have nothing to report from 2XL. So in summary, we've got low pressure to the north, bringing some more unsettled conditions. We had a cold front mostly passed overnight, but we're starting to see a little bit of the rain left over from that. And that's, of course, bringing an unstable air mass. So we can expect a little bit of shower activity in the morning, but hopefully soarable with Q later on today. We're operating runway 27 with cables in the grass to the south. And a reminder, please, instructors do not brief at the front of the queue. As always, do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown in red. And there's our airfield set up to finish with the winch from the south of the main runway, aerotailing on the hard, and landing before. That's all from me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly. It's a good day and keep it safe. Thank you.